Warning: this post contains opinions and should be taken with grains of salt. I am not a world's first raider, and some may disagree with my tips. Tip number 1: Mid what kills you, not what hurts you. This may sound completely obvious or utterly devoid of logic, depending on how you interpret it. But hear me out. If you are at full HP and you're about to take raid wide damage, should you mitigate it? The answer is yes, but it's not that simple. If a raid wide is not enough to kill you and there is no danger of dying at all, it can sometimes be better to hold mitigations for a more dangerous mechanic. For example, dodging mechanics are everywhere in Savage and Extreme raids. Take for instance M5S. Both rock dances are notorious killers of players. If you simply dodge the attacks, you won't take any damage, duh. But getting hit by one or two of them may instantly decide your fate. That's why, while progging, you should instead focus your mitigations around mechanics that you might fail or die on. It may seem weird to use holos and watch no one take any damage, but if someone does, you can be sure that recovering mistakes becomes so much easier. If you do not need mitigation tools to survive weak raid-wide hits, you should use them on mechanics that you can survive, even if you accidentally get hit, or use them on mechanics that outright kill you. Other examples of this are martial dodges in P9S, the dodging mechanics in M2S, or proximity mechanics like in M3S. Tip number 2: Cover the important party members. Is lethal damage about to hit your party? Mid the important members. Who are they? First off are healers, followed closely by red mages. Use single target shields and mitigations on them so they can recover if other players die. Do you have healer LB3 ready, but you are about to die to a massive raid wide? Use all of your mids on the healthiest healer and let them use healer LB3 afterwards. Big transitional raid wide like those in DSR? Use tank mitigation tools or healer covers to reduce the risk of healers dying. When it comes to singular hits, casters are factually more likely to die than any other class in the game. So, throw them a mid. Tip number 3: Activate recovery mode. When in the pool, you'll feel the flow of the game very naturally. You roll your GCD, you follow your rotation, and get in the rhythm. Does a party member die? Well, that's okay, the healers will take care of it. Does a healer or an important razor die? Activate recovery mode. And in recovery mode, stop looking at your damage. Don't try to multitask as it will make things harder for you. Look to mitigate and heal important party members and use skills that maximize your HP recovery. Gunbreakers should press Aurora on the main tank. Dark Knights spam your 1-2 combo to generate mana for TBNs, unless you need the healing from Soul Eater. Paladins start using intervention and clemencies on key targets. Warriors, save yourself first before helping others. Red mages recover and use for cures. Dancers find most important party members to use curing waltz on. And everyone else? Look to use health potions or mana potions to replenish resources. Whenever recovery mode is enabled in your brain, DPS should stop being your worry. Focus on the things that matter. Tip number 4: Do not waste invuln. Oh no, a tank buster right after the first raid wide. Who saw that coming? Whatever shall we do? If your instinct is to invuln this, you are holding back your team from optimizing your recovery mode. Simple tank busters should always be tank swapped. In fact, in an optimal Savage raid scenario, you are most likely not ever required to use invuln in the entire fight. Discuss with your team when your invuln becomes necessary or valuable. Otherwise, just execute the tank swap properly and hold your invuln for when it really matters. When does it matter? When your co-tank eats the floor right before a tank buster, now you can invuln instead of swapping. Is your entire raid dying and you're looking to recover? Now you can invuln raid wides and auto attacks to save your healers the stress of having to save you. Better yet, are you blind progging? Press your invuln when everyone else is dead so you can see more of the fight ahead. There is absolutely nothing wrong with using invuln when you are comfortable and further into the fight. But in early progression, use it when you can gain the maximum value. Tip number 5: Be a predictable player. The most dangerous scenario is a party member doing something they have never done before out of nowhere. Our brains are wired to a rhythm, and anything that disturbs that rhythm will impact our brain power. Do you know that awkward scenario where someone wipes the group and says, I was looking at X doing this weird. Well, the natural response should be, you idiot, you fool, you buffoon, you should not be looking at others, you should focus on yourself. But this is just not always true. In reality, if someone is doing something wildly unpredictable, like an uptime dodge they weren't doing before, or placing their stack market in an irregular position, our rhythm is disturbed, our brain's muscle memory is shattered, and our consistency drops. So even if it's suboptimal for DPS, it is most often a better idea to just keep doing what you were doing. Only change your movement patterns if you have clearly communicated your intentions to the team. Your movement can be a distraction to your fellow static members in ways that you can't always observe or quantify. Tip number 6, the meta comp. What is the best comp? The best answer to this question will always be whatever you are comfortable on. But we all hate how this doesn't really answer anything and doesn't scratch the burning question of life. What is the meta comp? This one could be a completely different post of itself, so let's just do a fast rundown. Step 1. Bring a red mage and summoner in early prog. This one speaks for itself. More razors, more utility, more recovery. Double red mage comps do exist, but bringing duplicate jobs like this slows your LB generation down by 39 seconds per bar in Savage and disables it outright in Ultimates. Step 2. Bring a paladin and then either a warrior or a dark knight. Paladin is the king of proc for tanks. It is the undisputed king of utility and recovery. Bringing a warrior means you probably don't have to worry about auto attack damage that much, and bringing a dark knight gives you 2 oblations and the blackest night, which is one of the strongest mitigation tools in the game, as it is a huge shield on a criminally short 15-second cooldown. Perfect for covering your teammates. Step 3. Bring DPS with mobility. We are entering territories of nuance and nitpicking here, but jobs with mobility like Ninja and Dancer will give you flexibility in the arena, allowing you to recover more scenarios, flex for mistakes, and sacrifice yourself by committing kamikaze into untaken tank towers. Step 4. If you play the game for general fun and just looking to make a decent prog, bring White Mage and Sage, as they offer simple kits that let you focus on mechanics with large amounts of easy-to-use mitigation and passive healing tools. If you are ambitious, bring Astrologian and Scholar, as these 2 jobs are the most effective healers when mastered to a strong degree. Tip number 7. Use Tank LB freely, and more than you might think. Tank LB is the most criminally underutilized tool in the game. A raid wight is about to hit, but a healer is on the floor, Tank LB. Taking a stack as 2 members when you're supposed to have 4, Tank LB. Are you only in the first 5 minutes of the fight? Press that Tank LB. Healer LB1 and LB2 are, while useful at times, incredibly niche, and Healer LB3 will by default only unlock about 5 to 6 minutes into the fight. So there is no reason to sit on a mitigation tool this strong during prog. Tip number 8. Call, even if it seems unnecessary. Don't blindly fall into the trap of, I don't need to call this anymore to my group, they know what to do. As previously mentioned, anything different from pull to pull can mess with someone's rhythm. Have you been calling the timeline every single pull up until now? If you now unexpectedly stop calling the mechanics, people might lose the rhythm of the fight. Just like boss animations, arena changes, and sound effects, your callout is now officially part of the fight timeline. Removing a call from the timeline is just like removing a cast bar from the boss. Everyone knows there is a raid wight about to hit us, but then why is there no cast bar? Something's missing. People can easily make mistakes as they are thrown off by otherwise present callouts missing during the raid. Do you want to get rid of a callout? Let the team know so that they are ready to adjust to the new rhythm. Tip number 9. Morale is key. Do absolutely anything you can do to raise morale. Especially as a raid leader, encourage your team. Praise them for making good plays and console players if they made mistakes. However, do not suppress people's frustrations. When things don't go to plan, you should acknowledge that frustration is natural. Instead, make people feel heard. Don't suppress frustration, as under pressure, it will just build up and explode at a later time. If recruitment has gone well, you should have 8 players all looking at the same goal. So do not put your teammates down irrationally. Avoid passive aggression and especially avoid non lexical vocalizations like deep sighs and tongue clicking. A team is built on trust and honesty. Being able to speak freely about your feelings and frustrations in an accepting environment is key for longevity. The best performing teams I've had were teams where fun was the primary motivation, not results. Tip number 10. I ran out of ideas, so I went to Reddit. I posted the script on r/XV discussion to see what would happen. Most of the reactions were quite positive, and people chimed in with their own tips on how to improve your prog. Some reactions were, Accept your post is misleading. So, to finish off, here's a tip from Into who advises that you should never adjust if you are doing the right thing. If you found a spot to stand in, claim it and let the other person find their way around. If you have a spread circle, you are a walking mechanic. Trust that the other person will see you and try to avoid you as well. If you start moving or taking a different safe spot, you will eventually enter confusing scenarios that cause awkward post-wipe talks about who was in the wrong. Of course, there is always a middle ground. Adjusting for your team can obviously save pools very well, but only adjust when you are either sure that it is the right play or you are not someone who your teammate is trying to avoid or get away from, because that will cause issues. People who are lost will try to go to empty towers. Do not move between towers to give the other player room, simply take your tower and let your teammate find his way. Tip number 11. I enjoy making these videos and I hope you enjoy watching them. So if you did, drop me a like, drop me a sub, and drop a comment to help the algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.